Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple of watches from MMI's latest release, the Nor-Light. The Nor-Light is available in 3 different dial variations and each with several colors to choose from, so lots of options. The watch is available until the end of the month by way of a Kickstarter campaign that is already fully funded, so congratulations to MMI for that, and thanks to them for lending in the watches for a few days for us to take a look at together. So let's get to it and check out the watches. Now, these watches come out with either a date with a sapphire dial, like the one I have here on the right, kind of a purplish blue. There's the NoDate, also with a sapphire dial, but with the northern lights on the dial, which is also loomed, and I'll show you that here in a minute. The third option is a washi paper dial, which I unfortunately don't have here to show you today. And to me, that one is probably the one I would personally go for. You just don't see that kind of dial very often in this price range. But if you search YouTube, there's a few videos out there showcasing those if you're interested. We'll start with the NoDate here, and these feature a sapphire dial with the scene of the Aurora Borealis printed on the dial. And on this model, depending on how the dial catches the light, it goes from a black dial where the northern lights are barely visible to having them really pop, which is a cool look. At the top of the dial is the company logo. I think the plan is to slightly increase its size. The dial is a little sparse, so that would help to fill it out. Everything from the logo to the automatic text at the bottom of the dial to the markers are all printed onto the sapphire. I like the Dauphine handset. They're well sized and easy to read, and in low light, the lume on the hour markers and hands are solid. Glad they went with a different color for the northern lights, and it's not as bright, so you're still able to easily get the time. The date version of the watch has a translucent sapphire dial. It's not the most interesting movement to see through it, but it's still kind of neat to see. Other than the date complication, the dial layout is the same as the NoDate. Same hands and markers, but the date is displayed using this small square marker, which I will say sometimes takes an extra second or two to locate, although it's surprisingly easier to find in the dark. It's not quite as bright as the rest of the lume, but the date is loomed and readable, and overall on both watches, the lume is solid. The case and bracelet are identical across the board on all of the watches. Other than the tops of the lugs that are brushed, the entire rest of the case is polished. We have a polished bezel, case sides. One really good thing that's happening on the production models is an increase in the size of the crown from 5 to 7 millimeters. At the moment, the crown, which is a push-pull crown, is quite small and hard to get a hold of, but the increase in size will definitely help with that. The case back is a display case back with an image of the northern lights, which is loomed. It's not the most useful lume out there for a watch, and if I could pick, I'd prefer a solid case back, but you do get a glimpse of the movement there, which on the date is the Miyota 9015, and on the NoDate, the 9039, so good, reliable, high beat movements on both watches. The bracelet is a 5-link, almost Jubilee style bracelet, sort of a flattened out Jubilee with brushed outer links and polished center. We have quick release spring bars, and the bracelet is sized using screws. The clasp is good as is with 5 micro adjusts, but they do have a stretch goal that they are very close to hitting, and if they do, the plan is to upgrade these to a clasp with an on-the-fly adjustment system. Couple other stretch goals that they did hit were for extra straps. Included now with the watch is this really good quality NATO strap. I really like the colors on this one. It is a seatbelt material, but a little bit thicker than normal, so very premium feeling. Also included with the watch is the leather strap. The leather is a decent quality too. It's not the best, but a nice extra, and everything also comes out in this faux leather watch roll. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 39.4 millimeters, 46.6 millimeters lug to lug. Thickness is 11.9 millimeters, and the lug opening is 20 millimeters. Water resistance on the watch is 100 meters. The crystal is sapphire and is treated with 5 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside. And here is the NoDate on my 7¼ inch wrist, and these wear really well. I like having the extra straps, but I ended up wearing these mostly on the bracelet just because it's really comfortable and I like the look the most on steel. Hopefully they hit the stretch goal for the upgraded clasp. I got a good fit with this clasp, but that would be great to have. The Kickstarter campaign ends very soon on the 30th of November, but there's still a few early bird spots at the price of 328 USD as of the time of recording this. Link to the campaign will be below. Really appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.